Welcome to the AggroCast, AggroGamer.com's official podcast. I am your host, Michael Camacho. Here with me is Ben Wynn, Brian Bentley, and David Becker. This is the final episode. I know we've only done one before, but to wrap up E3, it is finished, and we have seen quite a bit. Hopefully Ben doesn't get back here in time. No.
Wow.
In the background is Jamie.
Hi.
If you can hear her. And sick as a dog still is Andy, probably in the bedroom, ready to yell, fuck you.
I didn't hear
No, not this time around.
Okay.
I still say wake him up, but anyway. No, I'm just joking. No, because I want this podcast up at a decent time tomorrow. Ooh. I said it! So yeah, yesterday I think we left off where we had seen Activision and APB, so we're going to move on from there. Anybody want to talk about what they saw during the show floor on day 2 before we head into day 3, like the rest of day 2?
Well, there was the Beatles rock band, which Brian already wrote up an article about. So if you want to take on that, I mean, that's your.
Plus, it also got video.
Yeah, definitely. Check out the video. But no, Beatles rock band. I think it's going to be really, really huge. I mean, obviously it's the Beatles, but they've really made a couple of small improvements that have really made a difference in the game itself. Like, for instance. If you have the game paused, it does the countdown 3, 2, 1 before it starts the game up again. They have added harmonies, so you can have up to 3 microphones, and basically the vocals help each other out. So it's not like if the lead is struggling, the harmonies can help pick that up, and you can still make the awesome. Or in this would be fab. What? It's true.
So it just lets you suck as much as the Beatles did back then.
Oh, you are cruising a very, very small line here. But no, I mean, like the game is really fun. Definitely check out the article on AggroGamer.com. You can even see David and I up there on stage. So it's a lot of fun. You're really just going to have a lot of fun with this. Just that's really boils down to that.
Anybody else see anything yesterday they would like to talk about?
I'm trying to think of what.
No, I already talked about DPD yesterday.
Well, I saw Muramasa the Demon Blade for the Wii, and I got to say that was an awesome game. I just like Brian here. I wrote up an article on it, so I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'd like to get you guys on there and read it. It's a 2D side-scrolling action game done by Vanillaware, the same people who did Odin Sphere on the PS2, and the game is gorgeous. The graphics pop out at you, the background scenery had a lot of work put into it, and I thought the way you attack is done very well. You can use the basic attack by just basically mashing into A, or you just hold A down and you move with the analog stick on the nunchuck, and you fly around that screen. I mean, I was taking guys out with ease. It felt like I had been playing this game for months. So
I think just the buzz on the show floor is just that this has really become the sleeper game of the entire show.
Yeah, I know. Justin, aka Pseudo from Pwn, said he was told by Philip Kohler that he had to check that game out, and he went and checked it out, and he liked it a lot too. So I think it's definitely one of those, and it was one of my favorites to play out there. Now you saw God of War 3. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, I saw God of War 3 yesterday. I actually got to sit down and play the entire demo.
Oh, sorry, that's David, by the way.
Sorry. Yeah. I actually got to play the demo through not one, essentially 1.5 times because I got halfway through and their menus screwed up and restarted everything on me. But essentially, if you've played the God of War games, it's the exact same controls with a few extra features added in. The graphics, to me, look much more crisp. There's more detail. Like when you actually cut open the centaur, the intestines roll out and all that. What else was there?
Uncharted 2.
Oh, the Uncharted 2. Well, we talked about Uncharted 2 on the last one.
Oh, you're right.
because that was just amazing. But what else? And then also, if you're a God of War fan, also got to check out Dante's Inferno today, and it is literally the same game as far as gameplay goes. It looks like the main difference is just the story. I mean, down to you have a hero who's going on this epic tale with a special weapon that flies around and they do spinny combos and everything. Little orbs fly out of the creatures you kill as your XP. You have chests you go over and open for health and all that stuff. It's literally God of War. I mean, the same, what was it, the quick time events and all that. But it looks like a really good interpretation of the actual book, Dante's Inferno. So, I mean, to me, the story is probably going to be the one thing that'll make that game worth actually picking up. I also gotta play Brutal Legend on the floor today, and I really couldn't hear anything that was going on in this as far as story, but as far as actual gameplay, it's your normal smash and kill everything.
Yeah, but I'm sure the stuff you heard around you was a lot better than having to listen to Jack Black. So could have been a lot worse.
I actually like Jack Black.
No talent.
No, because I played the game too, and I did like the different combos that you can have. Not only just yourself, you can also interact with your AI partner that was in front of you. You can also interact and do combos with that person too.
But did you also get to the guitar solo section of it?
I got to that part, tried to activate it, and I was like, "The fuck?" I'm hitting buttons and nothing was going on. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because after you do that, that's where you get the car.
Oh, really?
And
I didn't even get to the car part. I was like, after that, I just put it down and went somewhere else.
They really need to work on the whole driving part there if they're going to put a vehicle in the game. Because, I mean, they have the crawling thing that works, but the car is what they're actually pushing for the...
It was just more like a GTA type driving, where it's like you swerve, or like Halo, where you're like swerving all over the damn place.
Yeah, pretty much swerving all over the place.
Damn, that sucks.
They need to tighten it up, but I mean, they still have until October.
Well, they do.
It's Rocktober.
Oh, yeah,
if you listen to them,
it is Rocktober. Yeah,
Rocktober 13th. Oh my god. So anything else over the past couple days anybody's been looking at?
Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. There's gonna be a lot of people, especially my Nintendo haters, who are just going to just bash this game because of the graphical style, the engine. Oh wait, let me think. Oh yeah, that's right, it's Mike. The graphical
it's the
style.
same game.
Well, okay, this is less like Phantom Hourglass than ODST is like Halo 3. But there are subtle differences. You're actually able to work with phantoms to figure out puzzles. You're gonna be able to drive instead of a boat this time. You're gonna have a train, but it's basically it's a sequel. I mean, pretty much that's exactly what it is.
I'm trying to figure out what I've seen the past couple of days. I've seen way too much in my brain.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
No, I saw a PC first-person shooter called Darkness of Days, which actually going to be coming out for the 360 also. This game is being developed by, let's see, what was it? 8 Monkeys Lab, and pretty much the game. I think the game is really unique and is really interesting. I talked to, was it Chastity? Or
I think it was Chastity.
Yeah, I talked to Chastity yesterday, and she also saw the game too, and she was blown away on everything. They build their own engine from the ground up. It's not like your typical first-person shooter where it's like, okay, you're in one area, you're gonna go to your next area, fight a bunch of enemies, or along the way, you're going from one huge battle to another. Like you're going to be fighting the Battle of Little Big Horn. You're going to be fighting, most of the major battles in history and whatnot. And it's just not like in a closed area. It's just a wide open area. And I think they said that you'll have like up to 300 AIs on the field at the same time.
Wow.
And so you're fighting these battles, and then you're pretty much you're pretty much a time agent from the Civil War days, and you got sucked in being a time agent, traveling through different times and whatnot. and there's going to be some AIs that has like auras around them, and those are the people that are supposed to survive. So if you accidentally killed them or you purposely killed them, another time agent is going to try to stop you from changing history. So the AIs are really, really smart and from what to do. Like if you're pinned down, they're going to try to kill you. I mean, the weaponry that you can have upgraded weapons, but if you use the more futuristic weapons more than the one for that time, then you're going to be sent back and like you need to balance it out.
Is Jean-Claude Van Damme going to be in this?
No,
Sorry, I was just...
no.
Sorry, I was just...
Now, I got to talk about the games that made me need a change of pants by the time I was done. I saw Mass Effect 2. I went in there and holy shit. The game looks so much better. The character models and the facial expressions look even more realistic than the first one. The combat is a lot more fluid. It's not basic. It's hard to say. I didn't think it was clunky in the first one, but there's a lot of area for improvement.
Yeah.
And I thought they did that, especially with the biotic powers. Now you can easily rip an enemy out of cover and throw him out, and while he's floating through the air, your team is taking shots at this guy and to kill him.
Yeah.
They gave away a huge spoiler, which I kind of was like, no, at the end.
I agree with you on that one. I was there too, and I was sitting there going, man, I wish I didn't see this. Oh God, I like wait. I wanted to stop them. I'm like, wait, hold on, let me get out first. But no, I didn't want to be rude and be like that guy. So
If it was a girl, he would have hit on her first before he asked.
hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I know. We've been doing it all week.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So,
Got the
yeah,
pictures to prove it.
yeah, true. So yeah, I saw Mass Effect 2, and after leaving there, I went right to the other epic BioWare game that's coming out. And I don't mean that on my own. It's epic as in a great game, just that they're creating these epic pieces where they're long games, there's a lot to do. I saw Dragon Age Origins, and I went in there. I really have followed the game, but I haven't followed it like I've been Mass Effect, so I kind of was waiting to see what it was, and I thought what they're doing with this game is awesome. Everything you do in this game affects something, just like Mass Effect 2. But in this one, if you're in the camp, which is basically a camp you set up with your party, and you can do it anywhere in the game, you can interact with other characters. They showed off where you give this girl Morgan a book, and afterwards you pretty much get intimate with her.
Nice.
And they didn't show the whole thing. They said, let's stop this scene right here, and they moved on because they wanted to leave it up to our imagination until the game comes out. But they went back to this other girl, Lillian, I believe her name was. That's more of like a goody type character. And when the hero went up to talk to her, she was pissed. She was like, I can't believe you did that. You said you didn't trust her, blah, blah. And then you have to either try to salvage that right then and there, or just let her like get pissed. And they kind of let it where it was kind of like, oh well, too bad type deal. And so she's like, I need time to be alone. And she just walks off, and you lose like faith from her. How the whole system works is if you do well and earn their trust, their belief in you as a leader goes up. But if you do something they don't like, their belief in you as a leader goes down. And if you do something they really don't like, they could even turn on you to attack you and try to stop you from doing that action. So I thought it was really interesting, and I got my hands on the 360 version, and it was really good. I mean, I liked the way it played even with the console controller instead of having a mouse and keyboard. So I thought it was good. I'm really expecting that, and that comes out actually October 20th, a week after Brutal Legend. So.
You mean Rocktober 20th?
Oh, God, yeah. Yes, I'm the one corrected this time. So.
All right, Left 4 Dead 2. I was very skeptical at first, especially considering it's been less than a year since Left 4 Dead 1 came out. And I have to say, I just walked into Valve's, their room and just sat down on a PC and started playing. Talked to one of their lead developers, and basically we're going to have 5 new campaigns, 4 completely new characters. You're going to have your versus mode. You're going to have survival mode, and you're definitely going to have new special infected. One we definitely encountered was the Charger, and basically it's like a regular zombie, except they have this giant tank arm that can pick you up and start slamming you into the ground. Or it can charge forward and just start running you over. It was a lot of fun. Like at first, I was like, "Well, why isn't this going to be something different?" But I had seen enough today to say that this is going to be a good pickup, and it's worth having a completely new title for. And the melee weapons is way too much fun. Chopping off zombies' faces is yeah, great. So definitely look for Left 4 Dead 2. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Anybody else see anything?
Well, the one game that was shown during the trailer was Brink from Bethesda.
How much can you talk about that though?
Huh?
They didn't say anything.
They didn't say anything. Oh, we couldn't record. They said we couldn't record and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I've gotten out of there that I thought was really, really unique was they put in a system called Smart, which they said was smooth movement across random terrains. So pretty much, how pretty much any first-person shooter, you run into a chair, you can't step on the chair or anything like that, or you run into like a small wall or something like that and you couldn't get over. Well, they implemented a system where you see a chair, you can step on it or go on the railing and jump or whatnot. Or if you see what they had was a metal detector, and you can actually climb on top of the metal detector or slide down depending on what you want to do or whatnot. So
to bypass the security.
But so that was the only thing I got out of it. Other than that, I felt like it was a RPG first person shooter, more realistic Team Fortress 2. Pretty much that's what I've gotten out of it, because there's different classes that you can change throughout. There are missions that you can do in order to complete the objective, but once you throw in an engineer and you can build a turret, that was it. That's all I could think of was, okay, this is Team Fortress 2.
Well, the one thing I really thought was funny was the customization.
Everyone is customizing now. I mean, it's like, okay, how was it? ABP?
APB.
Yeah, APB. You can customize, put tattoos on the guy, change and whatnot. It's like, the hell? And then you can choose two sides. Let's see, resistance or what was it, enforcers?
No, that's APB.
No, it was like APB. Resistance and something else. But it was like similar to like the enforcers.
It's similar. It was like the cops or whatever.
Yeah, it was like it was like everyone's doing cops and thieves or cops and robbers nowadays.
Yeah. It was bizarre. The thing I thought was funny was in their customization. They brought up you have like 19 billion options, and as they're going down, they're like, "Look, you can change the ethnicity: Caucasian, African." That was it. That's all they showed.
If I can't make a hot Asian girl, I don't want to play it.
No, I even wrote that in my notes. Yeah. Right here. No seeing Asians.
Yeah, we checked for you. We were making sure.
I checked right here.
Ben's gonna play the race card.
Well, I know. I actually saw a game called Section 8 today. I wasn't even really gonna go by South Peak Studios. I mean, I've been kind of unimpressed with their games recently. But the guy who does their Twitter feed actually hit me up because I was saying, hey, if anybody's around and wants to meet up real quick, I'll be in the South Hall. And the guy was like, hey, this is South Peak Studios, just come by, ask for Eric. So I went over there, talked to him for a bit, and then right before I went for the game, actually, if it hadn't been for who we ran into, I ran into Ben, and then we ran into Yavanna and the Charisma Plus 2 girls. and talking to them, and all of a sudden they pulled me away to go check out Section 8. And it's basically a mix of Tribes, Battlefield 2, and it's done in a sci-fi space type setting. First-person shooter. I can't remember how many people he said it was, but
I think it was up to. I don't want to say 20. I think it's less than that, but
I thought it was more than 20, but I can't remember. But it looked like it was done really well. You could have bots if you didn't have enough people. And they had it actually shown with 12 Xboxes set up with all together, and then like I think it's 32 people because they had 12 Xboxes set up and then 20 bots in game. So you had all that going on, and when he was showing us, everything looked good. You have a jetpack, you have an overdrive where you run really fast, and all that you can use to a certain extent. Then it's got to recharge. But I picked it up after he was done explaining everything, and I had a blast with it. I mean, I was doing jetpacks over like huge rocks where I knew the guy was on the other side, so I'm coming over the rock and shooting down on this guy. Then another guy later on is shooting at me from the air, so I jump up with him, and we're like shooting each other till his jetpack runs out. Then I'm aiming down, then my jetpack runs out, and I'm coming down. And I thought it added a lot to the game, and it was a blast to play.
I do like the spawning or respawning, where you're just dropping from the air, and you literally can pick where you can spawn from, and not just like, okay, since your team captured this area, you can only spawn here. It's like you can spawn anywhere, even in the enemy territory, where
as long as there's not an AA or artillery type gun set up.
Regardless, if you okay, I want to spawn right here. There's a possibility where they're shooting you while you're dropping.
Well, he said they will kill you if you spawn around the area. So it showed where these red circles were, where they had artillery guns set up and stuff. So it was like if you spawn right outside this, you'll make it fine. And at the end, you can slowly break and kind of aim a little more to your specific location. So my only worry about the game is how many people are going to pick it up and actually play it online. Because it's pretty much a multiplayer game. And unfortunately, when you're not Halo or Call of Duty, it's tough to break in. But I look forward to the game. I will probably pick this one up. And hope others do too, because I had a blast with it, and I think it would work really well.
Pick it up too. I just don't know whether or not I'm going to pick it up for the PC or 360.
Yeah, it is only for the 360 or PC. So,
have they talked about a mod for it for PC? Like, I mean, will you be? Is there like going to be a dev kit or anything?
They didn't talk about that.
Oh, well, sucks.
They're still working everything out.
I think the PC games that do the best, especially shooters, are the ones that have development kits and have modding communities. I mean, I think that's how Unreal has gone on so long. Team Fortress 2 has been huge on it. You know, I mean, it's really that's what carries PC games on for so long, really.
Yeah. I know I saw a couple other things here and there that I'll be doing write-ups on, like Soul Calibur for the PSP.
Which they introduced a special guest character for it. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, it's Kratos from God of War.
Yeah, I heard about that as we're leaving today.
He wasn't playable though.
Oh, okay, good.
No,
I don't feel so bad.
There's a sign that
Yeah,
said
they only had 4 or 6 playable characters, and that's not even all of them, but that's what they had, and they said they're going to be adding more. And so that was cool because they said a lot of people didn't like the Star Wars characters, and I had to agree. I thought they were out of place in Soul Calibur 4. Other than that, I saw a few other things. Don't really want to talk about right now. Some I didn't get enough playthrough to really talk about without kind of giving it more of a negative reception than it probably deserves.
Well, I played a few minutes of Need for Speed Shift, and I was talking to one of the representatives there, and I sort of like where they're going with that franchise, with that particular game, actually. Because they're coming up with 2 Need for Speed. There's Need for Speed Nitro, and there's Need for Speed Shift. Shift, I thought it was going to be, from what they explained, it's going to be more like a Project Gotham, Gran Turismo type game with the damages, and there's also like a system where it doesn't matter
how fast or if you're in the lead or whatnot. It's pretty much all about style points.
Yeah.
In the game, like who can rank up the most style points. Almost like in Gran Turismo, there's like there's certain lines that you need to go to. Well, if you follow those lines, you'll get those points. Whether you're going to be like one of the safe drivers, or if you crash into cars, you get like the aggressive driver or whatnot. So it ranks you on your particular driving style. So when you go online or whatnot, people will know what kind of driver you are. So I thought that's really interesting, where they're going to be going that route with that franchise, with that particular game, anyways. So, I mean, I didn't play enough of it. I was pretty much asking, the tough questions to to the representative and whatnot. But I might try it. I'm gonna give it a try and see how well, because the damage on there was just like, if you crash, you crash really hard. Like you just the screen shakes. You're like, it was like gray, like all gray and whatnot. It was like okay. I actually had to restart just so I can play it much better than I did the first time, because it was like you can't play it like all the other Need for Speed games. You can't play it like in that arcade. I mean, even though Need for Speed Nitro is going to be like that, the more arcade type game. I guess with this one they're going to try to aim for the more, I think they said the more hardcore racers out there. So,
yeah. I got a quick question, because if this had been like 2 or 3 years ago, I probably would have been all over it. Did anybody even bother with Madden?
No.
We got Ben over here, who finally got home, because he doesn't give a shit about the actual site, because he doesn't do anything for the site. He just wants to party and have fun. He doesn't even disagree. Do you want to talk about Madden, though? Did it feel better? Did it play differently?
Well, the one that I played was an unfinished version. The graphics did look better, and the gang tackling, something that's new to the franchise, actually worked really well. I chose intentionally to run the ball many times just to see how it would work, and it looked really good. I mean, there wasn't any major clipping issues that I thought there would be. There wasn't any weird physics with guys jumping where they shouldn't be jumping like I thought there would be. It looked pretty cool. It looked pretty good. I buy Madden every year, and this one honestly looks like a big improvement. It's more than just a roster update. Let me just say that.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I've been like, after last year, I said I wouldn't buy another Madden until I actually have a chance to rent it or something. I've been like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe I'm paying $60 yearly, and it just seems to get worse. But now on the MMO front, one of us has played quite a few and got to see quite a few recently.
Yeah, no, definitely. Perfect World they showed 3 different MMOs and one game that is single player, that will be single player this fall, which will turn into an MMO. So basically, they're all kind of like the same. They just have different graphical styles. Perfect World International is a more hardcore.
Lolly.
No, that's Ether Saga.
Oh, okay.
Perfect World International is hardcore, more adult. Everything's PvP. They have factions, and it's very specific like that. It has a lot of character customizations. Whereas Ether Saga is, like.
Was that the one we were playing then?
That was the one I was playing. You were playing Perfect World International.
Oh, okay.
And I was playing Ether Saga, which is a lot more kiddie-like and lolly.
Very lolly. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
he was like, what the hell am I playing? I looked up and I was like, Jesus Christ, it looks like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it was not good. Like, I mean, it was like, I'm like looking at my character, I'm like.
So was it more like a free roams then?
Not
free roams, but was it more like for the younger?
Yeah, it's definitely for a younger audience.
Yeah, I know free roams is real kid, but I'm saying, is it more for a younger audience than most of the games?
Yes, I would definitely say, because they give you right off the bat, everybody has like a pet, so like you always have help. Okay. In battle, and all the characters, even the mobs are very cutesy, and like one's like a doll that winds up. I mean, it's very cute and cuddly, but it looks like it was still fun. Like it was
just like you.
Yes, exactly. I'm cute, cuddly, and fun. And the other one was J Dynasty, which should be going into open beta sometime next week, he said. This actually looked really good. They even come up with ways of, to help players who aren't able to be on it 24/7, like in WoW, Bin. And where you can actually, like, if you need to leave for a while and you're, in town, you can meditate, and that'll give you experience every minute.
So is it kind of like, have you done that in Atlas's NeoSteam yet?
No, I haven't, because I haven't been able to get into
right.
NeoSteam yet.
Well, okay, NeoSteam kind of has it, if you keep your thing going, you can keep the game up but leave and go away. You don't gain experience, but you gain the TP points you need for skills. You go into this training area and you go and you select training for your specific class, and it just sits there, and you get like TP every so often. And I went from like 2,000 to like 8,000 within like half an hour to an hour.
Wow.
Of just sitting there because I think I was doing the Gametopia's podcast, and it was just running.
Yeah.
So
So they have the meditation thing, which gets a little bit, but for 3 times more, you can actually do what they call dreaming. And in dreaming, you can actually be logged off, and you're earning experience at the same time. One of the things they really stressed was that they didn't want super hardcore players to be leaving more casual players in the dust. They're putting in opportunities for more casual players to still partake in end game scenarios, raiding, those sort of activities. Lastly, I saw Torchlight, which is from the guys who did Mythos. When that property closed, and they went off and started Runic Games, who did Torchlight, and it's sort of like a Diablo dungeon crawler type game, but it's very accessible. There are only going to be like 3 classes. There's kind of a tank, a magic user, and then a class yet to be determined.
hopefully a thief or something.
Well, they really haven't. It's like, well, we haven't really come up with it. But this is going to end up turning into an MMO, and so what they're doing right now is just releasing a single player. And it's to the point where like you basically use the mouse to do everything except switch between your main 2 skills and your health potion and your mana potion. Other than everything else is done with the mouse. And what they're going to do at launch is give everyone the entire the editor and everything in it, and just say go nuts. And the editor is very easy to use. It was like, you pick a floor tile, and basically you can just drag your mouse around, and it just starts laying floor tile everywhere. It's not complicated. They make it very easy. If you wanted it complicated, the options are there on the right, like the objects, the properties of each object is there on the right, but you don't have to do it that way.
Okay.
So you can create your own levels. To the point where he was showing me how you can create events like triggers in the game. So if you wanted to put an elevator or something, like you step on it, basically he's like, okay, well, you pick this floor tile, and then you pick the event of it moving up, and then the trigger of you walking over it. He just connected the 3 things in a separate editor, and then all of a sudden, we walked, and it was instantaneous, sort of like the Mod Racers thing. Yeah. He said, okay, go, and it immediately put him and enemies in there, and he stepped on the platform, and whoop, and he started going up in the air. Okay. It was that simple.
Nice.
So I think especially if this can get out, like I said, in a modder community that can get their hands on this, they're going to have a blast with this. And I think they're really looking for some really good ideas to use for the MMO. It was extremely accessible and a lot of fun.
All right. Anybody else play anything?
I didn't get to play anything, but I pretty much got a full-on walkthrough for the new game Saw from Konami. And it's kind of loosely based on the whole movie franchise. It takes place in between the first and second. And it actually looks like it's going to be a pretty decent movie-ish game.
Yeah.
It's a third-person kind of action-adventure type thing. I guess not really adventure, but you walk around, try to solve puzzles, and not get beaten down by everybody else in this asylum who's trying to essentially get out on their own and save their own lives. And they went through and made all these weird little puzzles as well as some of the fan favorites from like the films itself. They actually got the actors from the films, except for Danny Glover, for some reason, to voice all of the characters they have in there.
Yeah, because he's really busy.
Yeah, I don't know. But it looks like it's actually shaping up to be a much better game than what most movie adaptation games end up being.
Well, trust me, Danny Glover hasn't had anything to do since Bush has been out of office, so.
The one thing
We've got a blonde over there just biting her tongue right now. She wants to say something, but she's like, ugh. So
the one thing that really caught my surprise today was the announcement of Castlevania from Konami. So I mean, I actually stood there in front of Konami in their front screen just to watch the trailer. So I'm looking up, I'm like, okay, come on. So they finally showed up, and it looked really well. I for one cannot wait for that game to come out. I think they just recently announced it yesterday about it, or sometime today.
I think they made a press release because it was in the magazine that they handed out today. So I think they did a press release last night, and then they actually showed the trailer and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was like blown away because one of the people that's going to actually be making the game is Kojima, creator of Metal Gear Solid. So I'm like really excited. Just the pictures that I've taken from the trailer, it just looks amazing.
I just hope we don't see a scene with there's a cardboard box and
Belmont
and Dracula hop inside of it and it starts moving
walking
around.
Yeah. I sure hope not, but I'm actually really excited about that. So.
Yeah, I think the only other kind of big game I saw this show was Super Mario Brothers Wii. I know Brian played a little bit of it too, and I had a lot of fun with it. Surprisingly, it's kind of frustrating because if you have people who don't want to work together, they will take advantage of where you're at on the thing to gain access to other areas. I was getting pissed. Like, I was pretty much ignoring the other people because I didn't want to do that, and I was getting the stuff I needed to get and going along doing my thing. I had gotten 2 of those big ass gold coins, and the other guy took the 3rd one by using me as a stepping stone while I kept dying below because he kept leaving me hanging to dry.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be definitely one of those games where you're going to say to yourself, okay, as much as I want to play this like a Mario game, I just need to have fun with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
You're going to get pissed.
Yeah, it is definitely
quick.
It's definitely a party game.
Yeah.
It's definitely a party game.
But they did it well, I thought, where it plays well. The shaking of the Wiimote can be annoying at times, but it does make you move quicker to one of the other players, so you kind of don't get stuck in a bubble after you die. And
right, because they can leave you there.
Yeah, they could leave you there. But if you shake the Wiimote, it moves you faster.
Yeah, it moves you right to them, where it's almost like you trying to bump yourself in the bubble into one of them, so it pops the bubble.
But once you run out of lives, that's it, and the people continue on without you. So you got to also make sure you're being very careful with that.
Speaking of Nintendo, me and Dave, right before Bethesda, we actually played a little bit of Wii Sports Resort, and we did the archery. Me and David took turns and whatnot, and I liked it. I liked it.
I did too. Although it seemed like everything changed after the first go around.
Yeah,
because everything was. I don't know what was going on, but it's like we were able to nail the target the first 2 times, and then right after that it changed.
Yeah, it definitely changed. Probably because. Dear God!
They said that the target moved back, but it was still sitting at the same
same location,
like 40 yards out or whatever, in the same 2-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, in the same direction, which is pretty much right. The whole direction was just the wind is going right, so I was like, oh crap. But no, afterwards, like we had a little bit more time right before and did the 3-point shooting, and that was awesome. I thought I had a blast with that. Yeah. So I'm like, you pick up, you move the wand over to the right to pick up the ball, depending on if you're right or left-handed. You pick the ball up to the right and just shoot away, just like you normally would. A couple of times I actually did the little hop just so I, just to get the rhythm down and whatnot. So
I thought that was fun. I wanted to play some more, but we had that.
Yeah, we had like 2
briefing.
minutes to get over to the
Yeah.
briefing.
I do have a question. How did you guys feel that the Wii Motion Plus reacted to your movements?
Well, as far as the archery goes, actually, I don't think that's mainly reliant on the Wii Motion Plus because you're mainly moving the nunchuck. Everything else you move on it. Most of the motions you did for the archery are stuff that you can do with just the Wiimote and nunchuck. I don't know about the basketball.
The basketball actually, I thought that the movement went really smooth. You're hitting the bead, going like this, and then going up and doing the shooting motion. I thought that was really done well. So I thought it was well done on that part. So I mean, I didn't notice anything different between, but I guess there is a huge difference between just a regular motion sensor to the Motion Plus. So
Yeah, the only reason why I ask is because I end up doing the Red Steel 2 demo, and I guess maybe I just was doing it wrong or something because it just did not feel very responsive. Like, if I wasn't, like, maybe if the problem was I was panicking or something because I was trying to, like, slash and it wasn't doing it, and it won't let you, it does, the Wii Motion Plus apparently doesn't go forward and back, like towards the screen and away from the screen. So I couldn't stab, which didn't make any sense to me. You know, he's got his sword over here. I'm like, why can't I just romp and stab him right in the chest? But you can't do that, so that's all right. Otherwise, I mean, it was kind of fun. The graphics are a little more cartoony than I thought they would be. For some reason, in the trailer, it didn't seem that
cartoony. Does it feel better than the first one? Because the first one I heard.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, if we're comparing it to that, then yes, it's a worlds better. And I think it's still fun. You know, I mean, and it was accessible. I mean, I know the person in front of me had a lot of trouble figuring it out, but like, you know, you walk up to a door and there's a little red light in one of the corners. Well, shoot the red light. You know, I mean, you really can't get up anywhere except for on the wall where there's this black like movement. You know, like there's stuff there, like it's marked. I mean, like there are things that are clearly marked. You know, so your path is there. It is fun. I think it's just going to take some time to get used to, at least for me.
All right. Well, why don't we go into the worst and the best of show? What we each consider to be, what exactly what I'm saying, worst and the best. So we'll just go around in a little clockwise, starting off with David. What was your worst of show?
So far, the worst of show, outside of, well, Littlest Pet Shop did let me down, as well as the Hannah Montana Lavender PSP.
It's okay.
But actually, surprisingly, the Dead Space for the Wii just didn't seem as good as it should have been. Like I mean, of course, the graphics are a little less than what you got on the PS3 and the Xbox version and all that, but the controls just weren't right. I don't know if it's just because of the demo they were showing.
Yeah.
It just did not seem to live up to any of the hype that they were trying to build with it. Mm. That to me is just kind of a letdown because I was expecting to hop in and go, oh look, it's another rail shooter. And that's the other one too, is the Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles. I don't know if it was just because of the guy I was playing with, but I just did not enjoy going in there. I loved playing Umbrella Chronicles. So it's just, I don't know if the rail shooter or whatever, they're just trying to go, well, we're just trying to print money now.
Yeah, what about your best of show?
Best of show, honestly, it's going to be a tie between APB and God of War. Because I mean, what we saw at APB is just stunning, and I really hope that they pull off everything they promised. And huge God of War fan, so it's hands down going to be my pick.
Yeah. All right. Ben, what about you? What was your worst?
Worst, I would have to say Mass Effect 2. No, I'm joking.
I was about to shove this microphone up his ass.
He was
okay.
leaning too. I saw it.
No,
I moved forward. I was like, "Let's rock, bitch."
No. Worst of show I thought was Sega overall. Just presentation wise, where they literally Aliens vs Predator was there,
you get to see it, but you couldn't get a hands on, and it felt I felt that way with like 2 of the 3 main games that they were really pushing for. Special Ops, that game, single player only. There's a couple cool features. Once again, I think this is the year of the teens and customization, because you can customize the guy's look depending on the mission and whatnot. It sort of felt like I was playing a watered down version of Mass Effect, because you get to choose what you want to do and whatnot. But other than that, it's single player only, no co-op, no multiplayer, storyline linear. What's the other one? I can never pronounce it.
Bayonetta.
Same. Creator of Devil May Cry, but storyline, point A to B, nothing else. It's a single player, no co-op, no online multiplayer at all. It's just, that's what it is. So 2 of the 3 games that they showed were just straight up single player. So,
Fuck? What was that?
It just sounded like something's creaking over here.
alright, just the futon.
Oh, it's me. It's my fat ass leaning against the futon. I apologize. So, Brian.
Yeah, worst of show, Halo ODST. No, I'm just kidding.
You trying to lose us listeners? Holy shit.
No.
Fanboy.
Yeah, Tobias.
Yeah.
Definitely. No,
I wonder how many people just went click.
No, actually, I think for me the most disappointing really was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, the Crystal Bearers. They touted this as the one they built for Wii, and it looks like crap. I was playing it, and I mean, there's just so much that you can, like every function was point the Wii remote at the screen, click and hold B, move. Like honestly, that was every single thing I did in the demo. Every single thing. Like we're getting chased. You look at the guard on the chocobo. You click it, the little thing fills up, and you throw him in the air, and then he goes back, and he keeps coming again. I mean, that was every single thing was the same piece of crap. So that was extremely disappointing. Best of show, I want to just say Left 4 Dead 2 just because I'm such a huge Valve fanboy, but I really, gosh, no, I've totally forgotten it. That's really terrible. Oh, Rock Band Beatles would probably be my favorite.
I was going to say Littlest Pet Shop.
Well,
because we know we go to the Hannah Montana, yeah. Because we got you on there.
yes.
Playing Hannah Montana.
Yes.
You looked like you were thoroughly enjoying it.
I clicked the X button like 3 times. Where her brother or something.
I thought you were about to
makes
say
fun
her
of me.
bra. I was like, what?
What?
I was like, I'm playing the wrong fucking games here. No.
No. But yeah, Rock Band Beatles, I love that every second of it that we played. I mean, honestly, I avoided the whole booth for the rest of today, for the entire today, because I did not want to lose another hour just sitting there playing.
Yeah, we lost, 45 minutes, an hour after
after the
press event?
presentation. So that's it for me. What about you, Mike?
I have to say, my worst of show. No. Was actually one that I've had pre-ordered for a while now, and I'm gonna cancel it. Final Fantasy Dissidia.
What's it?
Look, I'm a Final Fantasy fanboy, but that fighting game just did not appeal to me at all. The attacks, there was nothing except for the buttons. There was no make a motion and hit a button and you do an extra special move. It was like you have basic attack. No, not even a basic attack. It's an attack to keep them away from you. A special attack, it does a little something different if you're in the air.
Yeah.
And then you can zoom around the board by doing another button. But there just wasn't anything to it.
No, there was another option.
You gotta move up, dude.
There was another option that you could do, but you had to build up. There's a level, a gauge on the side that once you get that up, you hit I think it was like right trigger and I think square, and you were able to have the special sequence of just destroying them.
Yeah, but there was no actual, combos. other than what you hit them with one move, there was no way to chain moves together. It was basically just hit, boom, done.
That's actually true. I was able to chain moves together by doing the whatever. What do they call it? Rally or
there was like a knockback. Like you do a knockback, you would have the option of hitting X, and you fly across, and then you
just do it again, and you kick them back out, and you do it again.
Personally, I just felt that it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a fighting game, not like guys, but something like a Fate Unlimited Codes, Soul Calibur type deal. I mean, but I just thought it really disappointed me. I was kind of like, really, that's it? I mean, and they only showed off 4 characters or 5 characters, and it just wasn't enough. They really didn't give you a good feel for a game that's coming out in freaking August. Yeah. My best of show.
Littlest Pet Shop.
No, come on, We Cheer 2.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, We Cheer 2.
It's gotta be We Cheer 2. It's just no, I'm just kidding. I honestly, as much as I would love to say Mass Effect 2, I can't, because all I saw was them playing 2 particular scenes. It really wasn't enough, and same with Dragon Age Origins. For a game like that, I need a lot more hands-on time. So the BioWare fanboy in me would love to say one of those 2 games, but I'm actually going to go with Muramasa, the Demon Blade. Right now, I'd love to go back and actually just start playing the game from start to finish. I had an absolute blast. The guys at Vanillaware, like I said, did Odin Sphere, just did a great job with that game, and it's shocking that I'm choosing a Wii game as my game of show. It is. It's a reason to dust off the Wii, honestly. Like, it's a brilliant game, and I suggest to everybody out there, pre-order this game, get it now, and just be ready for one of the best experiences you'll have on the Wii. And you don't need to play with the Wiimote and Nunchuck. You can play with the classic controller or the GameCube controller as well. So if you prefer not to hold the controllers up in the air because they really don't do anything, you're just basically using the buttons on them, you can switch over to the classic or the GameCube and be good to go. So that's actually my best in the show. I really was surprised by that game, and I wish they were pushing that a little more from Ignition Entertainment instead of King of Fighters 12.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't ask me what my best of show was.
We did ask you what your best of show was.
No, you didn't.
No, you got his worst of show, but not the best of.
Oh.
I'm just gonna say.
Well, sorry, we're done. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not. You really want me to say it? Best of show?
We know what your best of show
Well,
is.
it's not
We'll say
holding
it
out
anyway.
there for you to go down.
What do you think it is?
Final Fantasy 13.
No. I thought the best of show, oddly enough, well, to me, was anyways, was the PSP Go.
Everybody in here is about to throw you across the room.
Well, I'm just disappointed
No.
that it wasn't me singing Rock Band Beatles.
Well, no, well that too actually, because I was the one videotaping that. But,
Honestly, the PSP Go at $250.
well, no. See that I the price point is too high for that. I agree with you there, but
the game price point is too.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No,
Oh, we got another hour conversation going here now, don't
I'm
we?
just saying, they're going to tier it by how big of the name of the game is. That's bullshit.
That they are. Well, that's the one thing they were talking about because that's. But after getting my hands on and just messing around with it, playing Gran Turismo on there, then playing Final Fantasy VII on there, just the.
But you can play Final Fantasy VII on your PSP now.
Yes, but
So he was in there.
I'm just saying though.
No, I'm telling you though, but I'm just being honest here. You can play Final Fantasy VII on your PSP now.
Whatever.
I'm just wondering, would you pay $250 for the system?
He's
It's the
obviously
same.
going to.
It's the same
I'm
price
going
as a
to
Wii.
anyways.
He's going to. Why are you asking the question?
I'm going to
Because I have to ask this question. I have to ask this question.
It's obvious that's what he's gonna pay for it. In fact, if I was gonna get a PSP, it's that is what I would get. I don't have any UMDs. I have no worries about them not playing in my PSP Go. It's smaller. It's more compact. It's what I would get.
I don't know. You can get a good console for the price of the PSP Go. That's my problem.
Like a good console like the Wii.
Or the 360.
360.
Honestly, you could.
$199.99.
Exactly.
No one's gonna buy the arcade.
But you can get the Pro for $250 on sale at most places nowadays. That's my thing. If you can get a good console, why are you going to spend $250 on a portable? I'm not saying it's a bad system. I'm saying the pricing is wrong.
The reason I could see them doing that, though, is, I mean, the big thing everybody was pushing was it's the year of the tween, and almost all of them want to be on the go, moving around. I mean, that's why mobile gaming's on their cell phones have gotten so high. So I could see them going...
I see it as their iTouch killer.
Yeah.
No, that's what they're trying. Well, the problem is trying to take on Apple is fucking retarded.
Well, they have to take on Apple because they can't take on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Not in this market.
No. And that's the thing. They're not going to take out the DS market. This isn't even going to go. This isn't even going to appeal to the tweens, though. This is only going to appeal to the hardcore market, just like the PSP always has.
Not with Hannah Montana.
People are going to buy that system just for the ones that want the color, and they're just going to get rid of the game. They're going to sell the game back to GameStop. They're like, I just want the fuchsia PSP. Get rid of this fucking game. And it's going to be maybe a lot of the female gamers. They're just going to want that color, and they'll get rid of the game because most of the female gamers want to play games like we do. Exactly. That's why I hate that EA girls and shit. God damn. Sorry, we're looking at Brian chowing down on this apple like, oh.
Well, he's like I'm just sitting there eating my apple, and all of a sudden, like, Ben starts pointing the camera like right in my face. I'm just like, okay, here you go.
This was a candid shot. This was him angrily eating the apple. I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, it was totally staged by me.
So. No, I'm not saying you're wrong for paying it. I was asking you if you have no problems paying this.
I have no problems at all.
Even though you just bought... The reason why I ask is you just bought the PSP recently.
I know I just recently bought it, but I have no problems buying the PSP Go. I'll just give my other PSP to my brother.
The only reason I ask is I've thought about getting it just because, being the chief editor, I feel like I kind of need the system. But I'm like, even I'm struggling trying to... After buying the DSi, I'm like, I don't want to upgrade shit.
Yeah.
And I'll probably pick up a Go at some point, but it probably won't be a launch one. It'll be after they do that first price.
I'll wait till Dell has like 20% off and then buy it for $200.
Yeah.
But there's no way I'm paying $250 for that thing. I can't even buy an iTouch because it's just not enough. Plus, you got to buy a whole new memory card.
Well, it comes with 16 already in it, so.
Which, for people like me who have like shit ton of games, is games range. They range from 300
megabytes to 1.2 gigs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you don't know. You could get
like Crisis Core 1.2 gigs.
You could get 12 games on there, or you could get 30. I mean, it's going to vary on what you like to play. Like Patapon was like 200 megabytes.
Well, they made that really small because they knew it was going to be DLC only. Yeah. So they intentionally cut corners where they could.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have those games constantly stored on your PSP Go. You can store it onto your computer, laptop, or wherever, and just have it on the go. It's like, I want to play this game. I'm going to transfer it over to my PSP.
Yeah, but it's like why I have a 160 gig iPod, because I want everything with me. I don't want to have to constantly transfer things on and off. I want everything with me and ready to go.
Well, the Go does use the mini SDs, and we saw at CES that they're going to have 2 terabyte mini SDs.
It's the M2.
Yeah, that's going to be 4.
It's the M2. It's not a mini SD.
No, they said it was a mini SD.
There's no way. It's got to be memory card. Sony wouldn't do SD.
They're not doing that too. They already said that
this is what they told me.
Memory card.
I
asked mini SD. Yeah.
I asked them if it was going to be if there was going to be like the dual.
That's why they're trying to claim this isn't going to replace the PSP, because they don't want people to think like, oh shit, they're making me upgrade everything. It will eventually replace the PSP. I hate when they say it's not, because it will. It is.
They should put it's not as of now.
But it's going to be like the iPod and the iPod Touch. You've got your standard iPod, and then you've got the Touch. And at one point, that Touch is going to take over.
Yeah.
It was the same thing with the PSP.
I agree. I just don't know. I think the price... I've seen a lot of people, before we get done with this podcast, I just want to say, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter going, $250? Yeah, fuck you. So it's going to be interesting to see how much they sell, because I haven't seen many positives being talked about this product.
Well, the price point is the negative.
It's a huge negative.
It's a huge negative.
And there's no positive.
Well,
Well, they could also be
they're
doing
adding
this to test
Bluetooth.
the waters as well. They could be going, well, we're going to say 250 and then see how much negative press they're getting, and go, well, no, we're just joking around, $200.
Well,
He said it was
the
250.
positives for this is for those who don't like owning a lot of like material type items.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people who have gotten rid of all your CDs because you now have all the MP3s,
I mean,
then this is great for you. But that's for the older generation. I think it's more for the older generation. It's a negative
Yeah.
because we've grown up with we own the product.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We don't own files.
Like that's only
Two,
ever been my only
three,
big problem with computer
5.
DLC. Like what Valve's done is like if I go out and buy a game, I want it to be on that disc and not, oh, here's the code you need to download.
Yeah, and one thing that's why the only time I buy anything off Valve is if it's $20 or less.
Yeah.
And I've only paid for one $20 item at this point.
I have 8 games on an 8 gig card, and I have 1 gig left. I have FIFA 09, Grand Theft Auto, 2 Burnouts.
I hope you own these
LA.
originals, or else you're not talking about this on this podcast.
All originals. Yeah, this is legal. Resistance Retribution and Test Drive Unlimited. So, I mean, you can fit quite a few games on there. It's not like I'm going to play 8 games at once.
Yeah, but I like to have it to go. Like what I do is, well, you've seen I've been carrying around my big PSP travel case because I have the UMDs and that's what I prefer. But
For me, I just rather just have it with me and not have carried all that stuff with me. So
see, I don't mind. I like knowing I own that damn thing.
I feel like the PSP is current PSP is too long. It doesn't fit in my pocket. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it is a little long, but for the most part, I like the PSP. I wish they said, you know what? Maybe it's not time for the PSP Go. Maybe it's time for us to get some fucking software out for it instead of focusing on a new system. Before you bring out a new system,
agree.
you need to bring out the software for the current one.
well,
That's my biggest
I
issue.
wrote it. Sorry.
the launch title for the PSP Go is going to be Gran Turismo.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's the fact that you don't have a software library right now that's fresh and new. It's still 2 years old because your last year, besides Resistance Retribution and a couple others, has been fucking shit.
I wrote an op-ed on Pwned, like back before AggroGamer even existed, about that. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember. Saying
Sony needs to put more effort into software for the PSP before they do the hardware PSP. This was a problem 2 months ago, and it's a problem now. I think they really ought to focus on the software side more than they are.
Well, they're going to have to now, because if you're making a digital download only, people are going to be like, where the fuck are my games to put on this damn thing?
Exactly.
Doing digital download only, though, that's just going to open it up more for them to go, oh, here's your classic PS1 games that you loved. Like Final Fantasy
As long as I
VII
can
and all
keep
that stuff.
downloading my PS3, I don't care. I want my Suikoden too.
Well, yeah, but if you have your Suikoden 2 on your PS3, what if you want to play it on your PSP?
You can still do that now.
Yeah,
though.
well, yeah, but you got to do it remotely,
Right?
You know, or have it digitally stored on your on your hard drives. So.
Well, I think we've had a good discussion
Yeah.
there. Here we go.
Way to go on that, your best of show.
I mean, it shows the division in this thing. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a huge division in this
Yeah.
PSP Go, and it just proves that. I mean,
So how many of us 5 here are going to buy the PSP Go? 3 out of the 5 are. Now-
not from launch, but I'll probably get one eventually.
when it hits 200, I'll probably pick it up.
Okay,
But
so
at
how many
250, I can get a console.
at or within a couple months of launch are going to get it?
No.
So 2 of us.
So 2.
I think in the future, we'll all have one.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah, so there's only 2 out of 3 of us, and I know, like I said, from the Twitter feeds, it doesn't seem there was a lot of support for it. I think you may find the younger generation buying more of it than the older.
Yeah.
Well, so do you think it's going to crash and burn?
No. I don't think it's going to crash and burn at all. I think it's going to be a quick start. It's going to have a lull period after a few months of sales. I'd say it's coming out this fall. I'd say by next spring you're going to see a steady decline and then just a period of where it just flats.
I think
It's
it'll
flat.
sell well in the holidays. I honestly do. I think it's a big holiday seller.
But once it hits spring, you're not going to see a lot of sales for it.
Exactly.
And then they'll push it again at E3 next year, and then it'll pick back up.
It'll put back up for next holiday, and then they'll probably do a price drop the year after that.
That's the one thing I'm really hoping is that between now and the launch, they're going to hopefully announce, okay, these are the games that is going to come out at launch for the PSP Go. And hopefully these are some big-ass titles that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, my thing is, I say there may be a price drop within 18 months to 2 years, but the fucking PS3 needs a price drop right now, and they still won't fucking do it. So nobody knows with Sony. Sony is
I still think they have the PS3 Slim in there. I think June 9th. I don't just... That's the rumor date, June 9th. We're going to see something happen.
I don't know.
So
Sony came flat out...
Yes.
Sony came out and flat out denied it, though.
Yeah.
And normally if they're doing something, and they'll be like,
comment.
there's no comment. So it makes me wonder if this is just one of those knockoffs from China, like the Wii knockoff they have.
But it was the same. It was the same leak as the PSP Go, which turned out to be true.
Yeah, but like I said, Sony said we can't comment on rumors. This time they said no, there is no PS3 Slim. There's a big difference between we don't comment on rumors and like no, there's nothing like that. Because they flat out denied that.
Working at a GameStop, I know people are going to come in, buy the PSP Go for their kids, ask, I'd like to buy some games, and I'm like, well, just get on the PSN. And then they're going to be like,
that's
well,
what I worry about. That's why I said it's not going to be a system for kids.
And then they're going to see that it costs $169.99, and they can get a whole smatter of games that we already have on disc.
I agree with that. It's not going to be for parents buying for kids. That's why I said you're going to have the younger generation. I don't mean younger generation as in like the 10, 12-year-olds.
Right.
I'm talking about the people right at 18, 19 now.
Right.
That are now starting to spend their own money on games. That's the generation you're going to see. Us,
exactly.
You're going to see a lot of us saying, no, I want to keep my collection, and I want to know it's sitting on my shelf. But you're also going to see that where parents going, wait, I have to do what? Log on to what? I don't know how to do that.
You can't, right. Can you sign up for PSN if you're under 13?
No.
You can't do it.
You can, but there's no real way to block it. You just put in a fake date and you're on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the point is still valid that you're technically not supposed to sign up for it unless you're
because you don't need a credit card. You just buy the point cards and you're in.
Yeah.
But you know who they're really marketing this to is the young professionals. The people who are just out of college, have a lot of money just sitting. They have a lot of disposable income. These are the people that they're really selling the PSP Go to.
Yeah. Well, now how are they going to stop kids from downloading M-rated games? If you can put in
that's going to be an interesting. That's going to be an interesting.
The ESRB is going to have a field day with it.
It won't be the ESRB. It's going to be somebody like a Jack Thompson saying, "Well, how come they're buying all these games?"
Yeah.
Well, they might actually have go about limiting downloading mature rated games to people who are only paying by credit card or whatever, because that at least guarantees they're about it. Or put in a
or force that particular person to actually, when you sign up to PSN, that you have to put in the credit card.
Yeah, they don't charge you anything. They just confirm that you're 18.
It'll be one of those, we're going to charge your card like $1.
Yeah.
Just to confirm that this is a,
Yeah.
All right, well.
I just have one quick thing about the PS3 price drop. I will buy a PS3 when it drops another $100. Until that happens, I'm not buying anything.
Well, do you have a PS3 or no? You don't. Do you have a PS3 already?
Yep.
Yeah, I got to launch one. So.
I honestly think that the people that want a PS3 hardcore have it now. Sony's gonna wait until Final Fantasy 13 and God of War come out, and after all that is said and done, then they'll be like, well, now that everybody bought the PS3 at the high price so they could get God of War 3 and Final Fantasy 13, now we're gonna drop the price.
I hope they don't put a God of War bundle together.
I'll
be screwed.
I guarantee you that's what they do.
Limited edition.
Yeah, if it's like a red with blood splatters all over.
Did they already announce a FF13 bundle?
No.
Or is that Japan only?
That's Japan only.
That's Japan only? Okay.
Yeah,
Japan gets all the good shit.
But you can
they had
import
Tales of Vesperia
Yeah.
Special 360.
You
I was like,
spend
I want that.
$700 on it.
Yeah, they will.
Well, but there are some fanboys that will.
Well,
He
yeah.
tried to buy it.
I
Oh,
tried
you
to.
did? Oh, Ben, nice fanboy right here.
Yeah, well, everybody's like looking at Ben like he tried to buy it. I don't blame him. I mean, it looked nice.
It looks really nice. It's got the cloud logo on
I want to
Why
say
don't
something.
they allow-
This Rebel FM meetup is killing me. My phone's been going off every 5 minutes because people are emailing back and forth.
Shouldn't they have started by now?
Yeah,
But
they do
hey,
start
that's
right
gonna be
now.
our opening theme. Is that song right there?
What, why won't they let you import it?
Oh no, because I signed up and everything.
All right. Well, while they're talking over there, we're just gonna. You guys keep talking because we got to end this. It's been going on past an hour. So we want to thank you guys for listening. This has been our E3. I was planning on originally doing an E3 wrap up. We've kind of went over the best and worst of the show here. So I think we're going to take a week off to focus on getting the articles done and everything.
there's
And
just a lot
we'll
to
be
do.
back the next weekend, which will be what?
There's a table there.
What's today, by the way?
Today's like the 4th, I think.
So it's the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, the 14th, I guess we'll be back. Yeah, it's the 14th, so it'll be the day before my 30th, so
Party.
yeah. I'll be drunk as hell on that podcast, because I'm not going to work on the 15th, so I'm like, "Wah!" Okay, but anyway, you'll wait till you hear that one. So we'll be back on the 14th. We thank you all. Just keep checking AggroGamer.com. We're going to have articles going up through Sunday. Hopefully, we'll have them all done by then.
I make the assumption that there will be articles continuing on AggroGamer.com past Sunday.
E3.
Beyond Sunday, there will continue to be.
Yeah. E3 articles will be up should be all finished by Sunday. So we thank you all for listening. We had a great time at E3, but we are ready to catch some fucking sleep because we are all exhausted. So we will catch y'all later, and we are out.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.